Okay, here I am. I decided to make two videos so that I could find a paper that was relevant. So now this isn't the most perfect paper in the world, but I think it'll give you a good understanding. So this is how your title page should look. It needs to have a title, the name of the university, and the date, the course number. It should also have your professor's name on there. So you should have Professor April DeMito on there as well. You need to have a running head. The running head is up in the top left-hand corner, community resources, and then you sign verifying that this is your paper. Now, let's look. This is page 2. Now, this paper has a mistake on it. They started this paper with the word introduction, and that is a big no-no. You never start your papers with the word introduction. So, um, the title of the paper should be there. And then let's look and see. This paragraph gives us an understanding of what the premise of our paper is going to be. Now, this paper, the first uh, item in the rubric was demographics. So, see how we have it centered in bold. And then this paragraph is specifically related to that area on the rubric that is asking what the demographics of the community are. So, that's there. Now, the second issue is on the rubric was healthcare facilities in the community. So you can see that the writer wrote healthcare facilities in the community. That's the heading, centered and bold. This over on the far right hand side is a subheading. Now, when I write a paper, I do it a little differently. I write this the heading, and then I would write maybe at a minimum of 2 sentences to give an overview of what the content of this heading is going to be, and then I would do the subheading. But I accept this as well. So now you have the subheading healthcare centers, and the next paragraph is specifically geared towards healthcare centers. Now you can see we have another subheading primary care practices, another subheading outpatient care facilities. Now, error here, facilities should have a capital, it should start with a capital. Nursing care facilities, again, cap issues. Pharmacies, non-traditional facilities. And now here we've got another heading. So this is another area of the rubric. So components of the rubric are headings. When you want to break that down into smaller areas, or if the content of the heading is asking for you to speak to different issues, like it wants 3 research articles, I would make subheadings of the 3 different research articles to answer those questions a little more in depth. Now, here's another mistake I don't like in paper. See how this writer has, or this author has bullet points here? You don't put bullet points in papers like this. This should be written out as a sentence. If you have anything that you want to incorporate, any graphs, those need to be placed in your appendix, which is the very last page of your paper behind your references. So here, this participant also, she put pictures in here, and that should be in the appendix section. But you should know that now because I corrected lots of your papers and explained that to you last term. So then we have, remember, sections of the rubric are going to be headings that are bold, and then our conclusion. When you're writing a conclusion, you never introduce new content into the conclusion. The conclusion, you're pretty much summing up the content of your paper. And usually it's just 1 paragraph long. I see some students go a little bit over on the conclusion, but you don't really need to. Just sum it up, and generally the last sentence, make it a good zinger. Okay, now let's look on here. References. Now, this student has it done correctly. So we have references. Anytime that you have looked up a reference on the internet, you need to have the title of that internet page in italics. So you can see here, electronic health record was the title of this, and retrieved from. This one, what is public health? That's the title of this page that she went to, and that's in italics. So if you go to a specific web page, you need to have that in italics and then the retrieved from. If you're looking up articles like this one, this is a research, or this was a textbook, you don't need to put retrieved from. Or if you're looking up a research article online, you don't have to put retrieved from. That's strictly if you're looking at web pages. Now, this is the reference page. If you were going to have an appendix, the appendix would be the next page. And you would have the word appendix, A capitalized, bold A, and then the title of whatever you had in there. So would be underneath that. So it would be recreational center or whatever the picture was. For my purposes and my research, I have like what would be mine would be Appendix A, and then it would be research study questionnaire. So when you're writing in, so let me see, let me show you one thing else too when you're writing a research paper. When you go back here, instead of putting that picture here, you would have in parentheses C, capital SEE, Appendix A. And that starts with a capital A and then the letter A in parentheses. So C, Appendix A. And the picture wouldn't be there. Purdue OWL actually has, I think, the best resources because they show you lots of examples. And please, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Research papers are something that you will get better at as you move along. And I'm very strict with research papers because at the master's level, you should have a good understanding of how to develop a paper. And you may say, well, Professor April, I'm not going to be a researcher or an author. Why do I need to know how to do this? Because this illustrates, a good paper illustrates the provider's ability to critically think and to place items in logical, utilizing logical reasoning skills. So it is very important. And even though many of you will deny it now, many of you are going to be going on for a doctorate degree in a couple of years. You might say now, oh, no, 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 but I bet you will because I said no, no, no also. And when you get to the doctorate level, they will not accept any papers that are written in anything below doctorate level, and they are not going to give you a chance to rewrite it. They are just going to give you the grade that they believe that you deserve, and it can be shocking, I guess I could say. So I want to help prepare you for that so that you have a good grasp and a good understanding of how to write a high-level paper. So, 2 videos tonight because I felt it was important to do this one separately. I wanted to find a good example for you. So please reach out if you have any questions or concerns, and I'll be looking at your posts this week, and have a good evening.